The doorbell rang at 6:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. I know the exact time because I was watching the evening news. The anchor was talking about housing prices in the city, how rent was skyrocketing, how families were being priced out of their neighborhoods. 2 quick rings, then a third. Sharp, insistent, not the kind you give when you're invited. I live alone now. Have for 3 years, since my wife Angela passed. Heart attack, sudden. One day she was planting tomatoes in the backyard, talking about the fall harvest. The next day I was picking out a casket. The house feels bigger without her, quieter. The kind of quiet where you notice every creak in the floorboards, every hum from the refrigerator, every tick of the clock above the mantel. Through the frosted glass, I saw 2 figures, one tall, one shorter. Backlit by the street lamp that flickers every 12 seconds, City's been meaning to fix it for months, maybe years. I opened the door. My nephew Tyler stood there with a woman I'd never met. Early 20s. Blonde hair pulled back so tight it looked painful. Sharp features that might have been pretty if they didn't look so calculating. Expensive-looking jacket despite claiming to be broke. She held 2 large duffel bags, one in each hand, like she was ready to move in on the spot. Her perfume hit me first. Heavy, floral, and impossible to ignore. The kind Angela would have hated. "Uncle Rob," Tyler said. His voice had that apologetic tone, but it sounded rehearsed, like he'd practiced this conversation in his car on the way over. "This is Madison, my girlfriend. Can we come in?" I stepped aside. What else was I going to do? He was family. They walked into my living room. Tyler set down 3 more bags I hadn't noticed he was carrying. Madison dropped her duffel bags on my couch. The one Angela and I bought 15 years ago at an estate sale in Portland. We'd haggled for 20 minutes, got it for half the asking price. She didn't ask permission, just walked past me, down the hallway toward the bedrooms. I heard her footsteps, loud, deliberate, heels on hardwood, each step echoing through my quiet house like an invasion. A door opened, the guest room. I heard hangers sliding on the closet rod, metal scraping metal, the sound of someone already making themselves at home. Tyler rubbed the back of his neck, wouldn't look at me. "We got evicted. Landlord said we were 2 months behind on rent." "Were you?" He didn't answer. Madison came back into the living room. She'd taken off her jacket. Underneath, she wore a tight black shirt. She sat down on my couch, crossed her legs, looked at me like she was waiting for something. "Tyler says you live here alone," she said. Her voice was smooth, controlled, the kind of voice that doesn't ask questions, it makes statements. "Big house for 1 person. We'll take the guest room. Tyler can help with yard work. I can cook. We'll pull our weight." She said it like it was already decided, like I'd already agreed to something I hadn't even been asked about. Tyler shifted his weight. "Just for a couple months, Uncle Rob, until we get back on our feet." I looked at him. My sister Rachel's son. I'd watched him grow up. Birthday parties where he'd blow out candles and make wishes. Little league games where he'd strike out and I'd tell him he'd get it next time. "Maybe 3, Madison added, scrolling through her phone. "Depends on the job market." The room felt smaller suddenly, crowded, like the walls were closing in. "Let me think about it," I said. Madison looked up. "Think about it. We don't really have anywhere else to go." Tyler's mom said no. My sister Rachel. Her house was full. Tyler's older brother Matt and his kids were already staying there while Matt looked for work. "We already moved our stuff out of the apartment," Madison continued. "It's sitting in Tyler's car. We need an answer tonight." The clock on my wall ticked. Loud, steady, each second a countdown to a decision I didn't want to make. "Fine," I said. "You can stay." Tyler exhaled, relief washing over his face. Madison picked up her bags. "Which room is ours?" "Guest room, down the hall. Second door on the right." She walked away without saying thank you, without acknowledging that this was my house, my space, my generosity. Tyler grabbed the other bags, started to say something, stopped, followed her down the hall, and I stood there in my living room, alone again, but not really alone anymore. The house suddenly felt even bigger, and yet, somehow, much, much smaller. Outside, the street lamp flickered, on and off, on and off. They moved in that night. I woke the next morning to the sound of cabinets slamming. Bang, bang, bang. 6:15 a.m. Madison was in my kitchen. She'd reorganized everything. Coffee mugs moved, pantry rearranged, cereal boxes stacked with labels facing out. "You keep your kitchen weird," she said when I came downstairs. "I fixed it." She poured herself coffee. My coffee. From the pot I'd set on a timer. Didn't offer me any. By day 3, she'd reorganized my living room, moved furniture, Brought in her own throw pillows, bright teal, clashing with everything. By day 5, she was talking about paint colors. This beige is depressing. We should go with something bolder. Nobody likes beige, Rob. Not Uncle Rob anymore. Just Rob. Tyler was never around. Left early, came back late smelling like bar food and cheap beer. Madison was always there, always rearranging, always suggesting. You should get rid of that chair, she'd say about Angela's reading chair, the one worn thin, from 30 years of use. One week in, I came home and found her on the phone. Yeah, we're settled in now. This place is way nicer than I expected. Big yard, 3 bedrooms. Rob's hardly using the space. She saw me, didn't stop talking. What else is he going to do? Might as well make use of the house, right? She laughed. When she hung up, she cornered me. We need ground rules. Tyler and I need our own key. And the bathroom situation doesn't work. We need the master bath, Angela's bathroom, with her toothbrush still in the holder. No, I said. You have 2. We have 0. That's not fair. This is my house. She smiled. It's just a bathroom, Rob. Don't be weird about it. I left, went to my room, locked the door. For the first time in 3 years. By the end of that first week, I wasn't the homeowner anymore. I was the obstacle. That night, I realized something. I didn't invite guests. I invited an occupation. 2 weeks in, I came home from my afternoon walk to find Madison sitting in Angela's chair, the reading chair by the window. She had her feet up, shoes off, toes painted bright red. She was scrolling through her phone, earbuds in, nodding her head to music I couldn't hear. I stopped in the doorway. Outside, the neighbor's golden retriever barked. Max. He barked every day at 4 p.m. like clockwork when the mailman came. Madison looked up, pulled out one earbud. Hey, she said. That's Angela's chair, I said. Who's Angela? My wife. Oh, she shrugged. Tyler mentioned her. She passed, right? Yeah. Sorry. She didn't sound sorry. But like, she's not using it anymore. The dog barked again. Loud. Insistent. Madison put the earbud back in, closed her eyes, kept nodding to her music. I walked past her, up the stairs, to my room. I lay on my bed and stared at the ceiling, at the water stain shaped like a cloud. Angela used to say it looked like a dragon. I never saw it, but I'd always agreed with her anyway. That night, Tyler came home at 11 p.m. I was still awake, sitting in the kitchen, drinking tea. The house was dark except for the small light above the stove. Uncle Rob? I turned. Tyler stood in the doorway, backlit by the hallway light. You okay? He asked. Fine. He hesitated, shifted his weight from foot to foot. Madison said you were upset earlier, about the chair. She's sitting in Angela's chair. I'll talk to her. Will you? He shifted again. Look, I know this is a lot, but we're really grateful. You're helping us out. Am I? What do you mean? You're never here, Tyler. You leave every morning, come back late. What are you doing all day? Looking for work. In bars. He didn't answer, just looked down at the floor. Madison's taking over my house, I said quietly, moving furniture, changing things, sitting in Angela's chair. I'll talk to her, he said again. But he didn't. The next day, I came home to find Madison in my kitchen with 2 strangers, friends of hers, Jake and Simone, making pasta, 4 pots going at once. The kitchen smelled like garlic and something burnt, maybe the sauce, maybe the bread she'd left too long in the oven. Rob, Madison said when she saw me, all smiles. This is Jake and Simone, friends of mine. We're having dinner. Hope you don't mind. I invited a few people over. A few people. My kitchen, my stove, my food, her friends. Nice place, Jake said. Tall guy, wore a beanie despite it being 70 degrees outside. Madison said you're letting them crash here. That's cool of you. Yeah, Simone added. Pink hair, nose ring. Tyler's lucky to have family like you. Madison handed them both wine glasses. My wine glasses. The ones Angela and I got as a wedding gift from her sister 20 years ago. Filled with red wine I didn't buy, from bottles I'd never seen before. Dinner's almost ready, Madison said. You're welcome to join us, Rob. Welcome. In my own house. As if I needed permission to sit at my own table. I didn't join them. I went upstairs. At 10 p.m. I heard laughing, loud, raucous, footsteps on the stairs, doors opening and closing. At midnight, music started playing, bass thumping through the walls, shaking picture frames. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I found beer bottles on my coffee table, a wine stain on the carpet, dark, set in, dishes piled in the sink. Madison came downstairs at 11 a.m., hair wet, wearing one of Tyler's oversized shirts. "Morning," she said, yawned. "Late night." "I heard." "Yeah, sorry about that. We kept it down as much as we could." I looked at the carpet. The stain was the size of a dinner plate. "I'll clean that up later," she said. Poured herself coffee. "Oh, by the way, Jake and Simone might crash here tonight too. Their Airbnb fell through." "No," she looked at me. "No? This isn't a hotel." "It's just one night, Rob. Don't be dramatic." I said no. She set down her coffee mug, hard. It clattered against the counter. "You know what your problem is?" she said. "You're alone in this big house and you can't handle people actually living in it. You want it to stay some shrine to your dead wife. But that's not healthy." The refrigerator hummed. The clock ticked, each sound suddenly too loud. "Get out," I said quietly. "What? Get out of my house?" She laughed. Actually laughed. "You can't kick us out. Tyler has tenant rights. We've been here over 2 weeks. That makes us legal tenants. You'd have to go through eviction. That takes months." She picked up her coffee, smiled. "This is ours now too, Rob. You invited us in. You don't get to just change your mind." I didn't sleep that night either. I sat at my kitchen table, laptop open, searching. Tenant rights without lease, evicting family member, squatters' rights by state, page after page, legal forums, government websites, Reddit threads. Turns out, Madison was right. In my state, 2 weeks was enough. No lease, no rent, still tenants. And getting them out the legal way could take months, 4 to 6 months minimum, maybe longer if they fought it. I closed my laptop, sat in the dark. 4 a.m. The house was silent. Outside, a car drove past, headlights sweeping across my kitchen wall like a searchlight. I thought about Angela, how she would have handled this. She was the one who dealt with family drama, the mediator, the peacemaker. She'd know exactly what to say to Tyler, how to set boundaries without making him feel rejected. I was just the guy who fixed the roof and mowed the lawn and made sure the bills got paid on time. But Angela was gone, had been gone for 3 years, and I was here. Alone in my house that wasn't really alone anymore. I opened my laptop again, started searching different terms. I searched for my legal options and how to protect my home without crossing any lines. I wasn't looking to win. I was looking to regain control, quietly, legally, and cleanly. By sunrise, I had a plan. I stopped adjusting my life around them. I kept my routines, early mornings, the TV the way I liked it, coffee when I wanted it, dinner the way I cooked it, fish, usually, the kind that filled the house with smell. Nothing illegal, nothing unsafe, just my house returning to my rhythm. I made changes that reminded them whose house this was. Madison hated that she couldn't control it anymore. Within days, the complaints started, then the arguments, then the silence. They stayed in their room, avoided me, stopped trying to take over. Good. Week 4, I went to see a lawyer. Marcus, estate attorney, recommended by a friend from church. His office smelled like old books and lemon pledge, dark wood furniture, diplomas on the wall. I explained the situation, Tyler, Madison, the timeline, the takeover. He confirmed what I already knew. After 14 days, they were legal tenants. Eviction would take months, court filings, waiting periods, legal fees piling up. Or, he said, leaning forward, offer cash for keys, pay them to leave voluntarily. Sometimes it's cheaper than going through formal eviction, faster too. Paying someone to leave your own home feels like swallowing glass, but watching them take more every day felt worse. I took his forms, thanked him, left. That night, I waited for Tyler. 9 p.m. He came home smelling like pizza and regret. "We need to talk," I said. Madison was upstairs. I could hear drawers opening and closing. "You have until the end of the month, 4 weeks, then you're both out." Tyler started to protest. I cut him off. "I'll give you $2,000, cash, first month's rent, somewhere else, but you're leaving." His eyes went wide. "2,000? I'm not negotiating with Madison. I'm talking to you, my nephew." He agreed. End of the month. Madison didn't take it well. The next morning she cornered me. $2,000? We're not leaving. Tyler agreed. "Tyler doesn't make decisions for me. You want us out? Evict us. It'll take months." That night, I found a note on my counter. Madison's handwriting. House rules. 1. Quiet hours, 10 p.m., 7 a.m. 2. Shared kitchen duties. 3. Shared grocery costs, split 3 ways. Below it, a cleaning rotation with my name on it. She'd written my name like I was staff, in my own house. I crumpled it, threw it away, Called my lawyer. He filed eviction paperwork Monday. 30-day notice, certified mail. Madison signed for it. I heard her scream from upstairs. "You're actually doing this," she said when she came down. "Fine, we'll fight it." 3 days later, my lawyer called. They vacated. Moving truck was there at 6 a.m. I walked through my house, guest room empty, closet bare. They were gone. I sat down in Angela's chair. Outside, the dog barked. The clock ticked. My house was mine again. 2 weeks later, Tyler emailed. He and Madison had broken up. She'd been using him for free housing. Had done it before with her ex-boyfriend, apparently. A whole pattern he never saw coming. He was staying with a friend now, working at a warehouse, paying his own way for the first time in years. He was sorry. Really sorry, he said. I wrote back. Told him I was glad he got out. Told him next time he needs help, ask, don't assume, and don't bring strangers into someone's home and call it yours. The door's always open, just for him. Last month he visited, alone. Brought flowers for Angela's grave, yellow roses, her favorite. We drove out to the cemetery together, stood there in silence for a while. He placed the flowers on her headstone, ran his fingers over her name carved in granite. "I've been going to therapy," he said on the drive home, "working on boundaries, on seeing when people are using me." "That's good." "Yeah, it is." He was quiet for a moment. "Madison's with someone else now, some guy who owns a house in the suburbs. She moved in after 2 weeks. Same exact playbook. Some people don't change." "Yeah." We pulled into my driveway. I invited him in. We made coffee, sat at the kitchen table like we used to when he was younger. Talked about normal things, his new job, my garden. The tomatoes weren't doing well this year. Rachel's new grandson who just started walking. When he left, he hugged me, tight, like he meant it. "Thanks for teaching me what boundaries look like." After he left, I walked through my house. Everything was where it belonged. Angela's chair by the window, the couch in its proper place, the kitchen organized the way I liked it. My house, my space, my rules. And if someone ever tries to claim it again, I'll let them finish talking. But I know exactly what I'll say next. No. Team Uncle Rob or Team Madison? Would you have let them stay? Some people see an empty house and think it's an opportunity. Some people see kindness and mistake it for weakness. And some people learn the hard way that ours is not the same as yours, especially when it was never theirs to begin with. If you love quiet revenge and boundary stories, check the playlist next.